Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're going to be going over the 5 things that I love about the all-new 2022 Volvo XC90 Recharge Extended Range. With that being said, before we get in the video, I do want to mention if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get right into it. Now, the first thing that I love is the exterior styling. This pretty much goes across the board for most Volvo models. I think they've done a really good job with styling on their vehicles. So first off, I love these signature Thor's hammer LED daytime running lights there at the front end. I love the vertical slats for the front grille and how they integrate the camera there into the Volvo logo so that it doesn't mess with the overall design. And I think that the front end is definitely the best looking part, and the XC90 has really good proportions with Volvo's styling. The XC60 also looks great as well, but I feel like the styling works best here on the 90. And if you guys are wondering, there's a bunch of dust on it because I took it off-road. You should probably go watch that on the main channel because it's just absolutely hilarious. Also, these 21-inch wheels, I'm usually not a fan of big wheels. Actually look really good though with the overall proportions. And then we have these signature taillights. Now they've kind of rounded things off a little bit more with the back end because Volvo's used to be like just vertical with the rear end, but now, you know, it kind of like comes to a slight point. It's almost like an arrow, not an arrow, sorry. It's almost like a bow rather. And so it actually looks pretty cool with how they have it shaped overall. And so yeah, it's a little point, but I think they've done a really good job with making this distinctive too. Like, this doesn't look like every other SUV in the market. I just hit into my own garage. But anyways, let's get to the next point. So the number 2 point has to pertain to the interior feel. Oh boy, it's gonna be so fun popping inside when it's like a million degrees outside and haven't cooled down the car at all. So first off, I love the design with the materials here inside. So you've got like the black leather here at the top, and then you have this beautiful wood trim with metallic trim, and then the cream color down below that. And because of that, it just makes this interior feel really organic, if that makes sense. Like, I almost feel like I'm in nature, but it's again, it's a car. It's I don't know how Volvo does it, but they somehow managed to do it. And on top of that, you can see with the headliner how that's lighter in color as well. And so it kind of lends to the open air feel of the interior that I really like. And you can see that it's not like a fully closed shade. It lets a little bit of light in. And so again, that kind of goes with the theme. So even when you have the shade closed, it still feels a little bit more open, a little bit more airy. And notice that two-tone design continues. And so overall, I just love the feel, and it has this like smell to it. If you have a chance to get into a new Volvo, definitely do it so you can like just smell it. I know it sounds weird, but it has this smell that kind of goes with the overall feel. And so I think they've just done a really good job with the interior feel, especially for the driver and the passenger in the front, because you have heated, cooled, massaging seats, which also is definitely a nice thing to have. But yeah, they've done a really good job. Like, it's a very serene experience being inside the XC90. Now, the number 3 thing is the smooth ride quality and the driving experience. Now, first off, to talk about this point, we got to talk about the suspension. So this one has the optional air suspension, which I recommend because first off, it gives you this nice, smooth, luxurious ride quality experience. But then on top of that, you can put it in the off-road mode and it gives you 10.5 inches of ground clearance, which is super practical. But on top of that, if we actually pop the hood, which is so funny how Volvo hoods pop, not the normal latch thing, that's normal, but like they open up so high, it's crazy. So you guys can see it's like off to the side here on the Volvos, if I remember right. I literally just unlatched this yesterday and apparently I've already forgotten how to press it down. We're keeping this in the video because this is funny. Okay. I'm pressing the latch. Okay, so look at this little thing right here. Again, it's kind of interesting to open, as you guys can see. Anyways, this is really interesting with how high that opens up. It's just super unique. So we've got this turbocharged 4-cylinder paired to a hybrid system, 455 horsepower, over 500 pound-feet of torque. Goes through a regular torque converter automatic. It's an 8-speed automatic transmission, so you don't have that weird CVT-ness like you might have in other hybrids. But the point that I want to make is because this has the electric power and the turbocharged engine, you have power all the time with this powertrain, which from a luxury perspective means that you just have the smooth acceleration. So you've got the smooth ride quality from the air suspension, and they have the smooth acceleration because of this hybrid system. And so overall, it just lends to a really nice drive. And again, the seats are really comfortable, the interior is really nice. And so it all kind of like comes together to giving you a really solid luxury experience in the XC90. And also, like, look at this. I gotta reach all the way up. And I'm not a short person. There you go. Now, the 4th thing that I love is the driving range and versatility. So we just talked about the hybrid powertrain, but we need to talk about the fact that this is a plug-in hybrid. So you guys can see this is the little charging port that you can use. And the new XC90 with the extended range has about 36 miles of driving range, what they rated at. When I did my test, I was able to get close to what would equate to about 40 miles of driving range on just electric power, which is awesome. That means that if you have a commute that is less than about 40 miles, then you'll be able to only use electric power, which means that you won't have to use any gas, which especially with today's gas prices is really important. Will make this vehicle a lot more practical to use from that perspective, which I think is absolutely awesome. So if you just have a charger at your home, you can charge it up and never use gas in your daily commute. And then on top of that, right, it is a plug-in hybrid. It's not a fully electric car. So if you want to go on a road trip, you can go on a road trip, you can fill up with gas. You don't have to have range anxiety and all that. So I love the versatility with this, where it has enough range that it's actually usable on a day-to-day basis where you wouldn't have to use gas, but then it's still a hybrid and it's not a fully electric car, so you can actually do like regular car stuff like road trips and everything. And I know some people argue with me about supercharger network and all that stuff with Tesla and everything, but still, I would rather be able to go to a gas station, fill up in 5 minutes than have to sit at a charging station for 45 minutes, an hour to get a little bit of charge. And I know there's fast charging, but still, my point stands. Now the number 5 thing actually pertains to the price. So at this point, we're actually gonna wanna pop inside. And I'm gonna have to find the window sticker here. Gotta do the funny glove box thing. I think it's in this little pamphlet. Yes. So, wait for it. Okay, this is a Inscription model 2022. Look at the total MSRP, $84,090. I know that sounds like a lot of money, right? I know it sounds like a lot of money. But again, you gotta remember, this is a luxury car. But it's also a plug-in hybrid, but it's also a performance car, right? 455 horsepower, 523 pound-feet of torque. Like, there's just, and it's a third-row SUV, right? Frankly. You guys can see, third-row SUV. And I did take it off-road. I mean, it can do some stuff. It's not like, this was not made for off-road use, but it's a vehicle you can drive in all 4 seasons. And so the point, we're just gonna leave it there for now. The point that I'm trying to make is there is a lot of utility with the XC90. And so for the price, I think it is an amazing option. If you wanna get something similar from other manufacturers, you have to spend over 6 figures at this point. And so the interior quality that you get with this, with the performance and the usability, everything associated with it, I think it's a really good deal. That's gonna sum things up for our video on the 5 things that I love about the 2022 Volvo XC90 Recharge. And with that being said, I'll see all of you in the next video.